I mean, can you believe how festive it is in here, Jimmy Carr? Are you just losing your mind?
This is, I mean...
Isn't it nice?
underwhelming is the...
Okay,
Oh, okay.
underwhelming.
Nice wouldn't be the adjective you'd use.
No.
Okay. We don't do festive that naturally.
I can imagine. Yes.
Yes.
Think if I was going to recast the Grinch, I think Sam would be an excellent choice.
No, it's
He looks
based
like a
on
Dr. Seuss character, doesn't he?
physicality.
Based on nose.
Okay, just nose.
Based on nose, the fact that I can see into your nostrils from here,
Right.
I think would lead me to believe that you're going to ruin Christmas.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's not. It's probably right.
We don't like Sam's beard.
Because
It just doesn't look right.
no. Well, I mean, it depends what you want to look like. I mean, if you want to, I guess it's a look. It's a look a lot of sex offenders have.
Oh, okay. That's not what I was.
If you're trying to attract children.
No. I wasn't trying
He
to.
is, yes.
I don't want to attract
Of course he
children.
does.
You don't want to attract children.
No, not a pedophile.
So you want children to be disgusted by you?
No,
is that part of the?
It's not the
I don't really
children
understand.
thing. I didn't realize.
He likes
that.
them crying before they're in the van.
Yeah, you feel like you look like I would say Art Garfunkel mid breakdown.
Okay, that's.
You look
that's
like
rough,
Art Garfunkel listening to the best ever Paul Simon tracks.
Right, that stinks because
He's going, no, I'm not on any of these.
he's still so successcul. He's still
Yeah.
good.
What's the deal with the bid? How long are you growing it for?
I don't have any sort of
I got a friend, my friend
specific
Chris
goals.
Tickier.
Yeah.
He's a clever guy, very handsome man. What he does every year, is he's pretty vain. He's vain as the next man. So what he does pre-birthday, his birthday is January 10th. So he grows a beard for 3 months before his birthday every year, and then shaves it off on his birthday. So then on his birthday, it's like, oh, I'm 45, but people go, oh my God, you look amazing.
Oh,
Because they're used to seeing him with a beard, and it takes off 10 years.
Right.
it does.
That's
It makes you
smart.
look younger.
It's a nice pre-birthday, just a thought.
Right.
Yeah,
when I need that extra boost for something, whether it's a birthday or whatever.
I feel you need that boost now.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can only use it once. I'm probably going to need it very quickly again after.
Once a year, that'll do you.
Yeah.
How long have you
I
had
think
it?
so. It's only since October, middle of October.
Okay.
So, you know.
I mean, while we're analysing your looks, there's
Please
something
do.
about your hair that
2
suggests a. Do you remember at Easter you used to? I know it's not festive, but Easter you used to get those eggs that you decorated.
Sure.
Sure.
And you have the look of.
The head shape?
Like an egg has been dipped and the hair is
It's just stuck on.
it's stuck on from
It
the
doesn't
tip.
look-
Right.
It
Like,
doesn't
it's not
even look like a
grown.
wig. It looks like it's hair from a barber's floor that's just been kind of with crazy glue and like it looks like a 5-year-old's done it. You know, you go, great job.
Right.
A 6-year-old, you go, well, I think we need to get you into special ed.
I see. Like it looks like it might have been taped to a popsicle stick or something like that.
I feel we've
Like
got
a
off on the
child's
wrong...
decorated egg.
Right.
I've come into your show. I feel like I'm giving you a hard time.
No, but you're right.
It's very hostile.
You're right.
I'm feeling I'm kind of feeling attacked.
But
to
he's
tell
not
you the
wrong.
truth. It's
I'm not
hard to
wrong.
argue.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Very hard to argue, but still my feeling is attacked.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah, do you feel bad?
poor Sam Roberts.
It's so tough for me. It's
Yeah.
so tough. Welcome, Jimmy Carr. It's great to have you here again.
It's very nice to be here. I've never seen the series look so empty. I kind of walking through. Everyone seems to have
They're
gone
all on
home for the
vacation.
holidays.
Yeah.
They've gone back to their families. They're loving, beautiful families. But obviously, the whole thing about your show is obviously that won't be happening. For
No,
you.
No,
this is
no,
it.
not for some of us. Nowhere to go.
What are you doing for the holidays?
Oh, nothing. I mean, we're not big. I'm not a big family guy either. I always feel like this time of year is so difficult if you don't have that perfect setup.
Right.
If you don't have 3 beautiful children, or you're going to see your enormous family somewhere, it always feels like a bit of a kind of I guess.
Are you in a relationship?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you'll at least do that.
Oh yeah. What? Presumably you just it's a.
Fist.
Yeah. Okay. Merry Christmas.
Jim's looking at a lonely holiday.
Yeah.
He's looking.
But so many people are. It's like I don't think it's that unusual. I think more people are like it's almost like that Instagram sort of thing of people trying to present. We're going home for the holidays. It's going to be great. Is it?
It really isn't.
It's those days between Christmas and New Year that are the toughest as well. Because at least Christmas, there's a bit of format.
Yeah.
Right.
You can we're eating 10,000 calories and trying to watch this movie and there's sports or something. At least that's those days in between. It's just like
Well, they're
unless you're
awful-
an alcoholic, it's tough.
Well, what are you doing for where will you be on Christmas?
Actual Christmas Day, I'm going to a restaurant this year. I've decided a restaurant's the way forward.
England or New York?
England.
Okay.
And we're going with another couple, some other friends of ours. So we're going to go to a restaurant. There's no washing up. There's nothing to do. We just have to get there and then get home. And then it is that thing of like, it's basically like being in an eating competition.
Right.
Like the whole day is like going, right, I'm going to try and do 15,000 calories of food that I would never look at. A plate of food that I would go, well, is that for everyone?
Yeah.
And then eat seconds of that. And then somehow go, yeah, no, I need dessert.
Right.
now.
Of course, we're celebrating.
Sure.
What are we celebrating again?
I believe the birth of Jesus Christ.
That's his birthday.
Yeah.
It's Christ's birthday.
Christmas, he's born on Christmas.
Well,
I think. Somewhere around Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't want to
They
be
say it with
that
the summer,
guy,
actually.
But it seems... I mean, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary friend.
Right.
I used to think that he went everywhere with me and I could talk to him and he could hear me and that he could grant me wishes and stuff. And then
Right.
I grew up and I stopped going to church.
Right. You realize that's silly.
I mean, it just seems so incredibly far-fetched. I also get the idea that you go, Jesus Christ died for our sins.
That's great. Yeah.
And I get the story of it. I get the idea of the
Sure.
story of Christ and why it's such a great story. It's like
you
everything.
saw the movie.
Everything was, the movie's great.
Right.
Everything was kind of stripped away, and everything all that remained was him, and it's about rebirth and
Yeah.
the second coming. I get the idea of it, but the idea that you go from that to cranberry sauce, I need to get cranberry sauce involved in this.
Right.
Like
Right.
even the resurrection and eggs, I kind of get like new life, but the idea that you go, what we're going to need is turkey.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the spirit has been lost?
What, of Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just-
saying that its true intention is not being honored.
I'm just saying it's a stretch. It's a
Yeah.
stretch. Some of the things you go, we get presents. Why? Because he got gold, frankincense, and myrrh. I mean, that seems like bullshit, doesn't it?
It does. I don't think it happens.
Yeah, for a baby.
I don't think. Who would do it?
I don't think anything happened. I went to Israel earlier in the year.
You did?
I did gigs in Israel, and
How were they?
and went to. It was great fun, and obviously we went to Palestine as well when we were there because I'm pretty woke. I think you know that about me.
How'd you get into Palestine?
How did we get into Palestine? Uber.
Really?
We Ubered in.
Perfect.
It's literally that easy. It's like people think there's a big. It's like.
Were you nervous going in there?
No, not at all.
Who'd you go with? Somebody who's Palestinian?
No. There's a weird thing that happens when you go from. So we're in the center of staying in Jerusalem. You get in a cab and you drive to a car park in like this little demilitarized zone. You get out of one cab and the cab driver looks at the other guy and goes, "All right, the Palestinian dude." You get into the other cab, driven by the Palestinian dude, and then you do the rest of the journey in the other cab.
Wow, okay.
It's kind of freaky. But we went to Bethlehem. We went to see the church where Jesus was born. I mean, all I said was that it's a remarkable historical site. This is the oldest fleecing tourist site in humanity.
How far into Palestine is it?
Oh, it's a bit of a trip. It's like it's half an hour in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like Christmas has kind of morphed into something where most people in life just kind of need a win sometimes. You just need to celebrate at times. There's enough misery going on.
Well, it's not like this is a Christian thing. This has been going on, paganism, the midwinter festival.
Isn't that where the tree comes from?
Forever. It's always been there.
Right.
You need that.
You need to have a day where it's like, okay, let's be happy. Don't ask why we're happy. Let's just be happy today. We got every other day of the year to be miserable. I think that's what Christmas is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a happy day.
Yeah,
Just
it's a happy day.
yeah. What are we celebrating?
What are you
I
gonna
don't
do?
know. No
You
clue.
You gotta come to my house, dude.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're going to his house, surely. I mean, you've only got to bring some recording equipment. I want to hear that show.
You do.
Yeah.
Because I do have that thing, that perfect family setup. My parents will be there, and then my siblings and their kids and my kid and the whole thing. It'll be very picturesque. And then Jim shows up.
Whoa. Wait, you got a kid?
Oh,
Yes, he does.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, Jimmy Carr. I left it in.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
how
He doesn't. He
made.
won't
Yeah.
pull out.
Yeah, I don't
Sam's
pull
a
out.
breeder.
No. No, you ask anybody.
You ask anyone, I left
Oh,
it
yeah.
in.
Oh, yeah, I left it
Okay.
in. Yeah,
I'm
no,
calling my mother. Oh yeah,
She'll
yeah,
tell
no,
you.
he left it in.
Yep. In both holes.
Yeah, no, I have a child. He's getting ready to enjoy Christmas.
How old is the kid? Is he?
He'll be 2 in.
Oh, great. So
yeah.
that's the age. 2 to 6 is the age when you can believe in
Absolutely.
stuff. You can enjoy that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Like last year, he was like a lump, so it didn't matter. He didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
this year, he finally
is that
understands.
his name?
Yeah.
Lump. Yeah.
Yeah.
I named him after the President of the United States of America song. I don't know if you remember it.
She's lump. She's in my head.
That's
Yeah, I
it.
remember
That's
that,
the one. But that's what I'll be doing, and I'd like Jim to join my holiday. Why not? You know,
Because you see each other every other day?
We like each other.
That's true. We do.
Yeah.
We do see each other a lot, but there'll be other people around.
You're like a married couple. I mean,
We are.
you're also not having sex. Exactly like
That's
a
right.
married
Well,
couple.
Wow. We started.
You
We
know,
started by
only in the mouth. We're not a couple of queers.
Yeah. Eating ain't cheating.
No.
It's not gay if you don't push back.
That's right. That's
It's not-
right.
It's not gay if you've got one foot on the ground, apparently.
I hope
Really?
not.
You hope not. That's the strategy. And we're probably gonna just sit around and binge The Fix. That's the plan.
My new show.
Oh,
on
you are.
Netflix.
That is your
Oh.
show. Oh, it's such a
Yeah.
weird coincidence
Good-
that I would
good
bring that
tie-in.
up right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good actually. This new one. I mean, I make a lot of these panel shows back in the UK,
Right.
but I like panel shows is like they're a huge thing in the UK. It's like that's how we do stand-up comedy on television. There's some stand-up on as well, but
Right.
basically that's what stand-ups do. They, we don't have this kind of radio culture in the same way as in America. So people come on and they sit on a show and they talk about this week's news or they talk about whatever the show's about.
Isn't that kind of how James Corden got his format for his late night show? It's kind of how it's done in the UK a little more.
James used to do a lot of my shows. Used to come on as a guest and sort of sit and talk about whatever the week's news and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, those are and he does a show in the UK called A League of Their Own, which is all about sports. They
I
got a
see.
big sports guy. It's really funny. And then Netflix said, "Oh, well, we'll come and do one for us." So we've done one about. It's like every episode is about a different massive problem in the world. So like opioid crisis, gun control, immigration, all light-hearted, fun stuff.
Yeah. Easy stuff.
And then we've come up with like each team. It's me as hosting. And a lady called Catherine Ryan on one team, and DL
Oh, I
Hughley
like
on the other
Catherine.
side. Yeah, they're funny.
And DL is
And
perfect.
DL I like too. Yeah.
DL's great, yeah. And they come up with massive solutions, like really kind of interesting, out there, fun solutions, but that could maybe actually work to these huge problems.
Here's why I like the show, because I sit there and when I found out that Netflix was just doing this, I go, oh, it's another show where comedians come on and tackle problems and don't tell any jokes and just sit there. Here's what needs to be done. And I'm like, I don't need that. But you guys have actually remembered that we can make this funny and it's a good time and it's
gotta
fun
be
and you're
funny
not
first and foremost, because I mean
it's not politicized, you
but
know?
also that thing of like it's not this week's news. I
No.
think sort of slightly the issue with a lot of these shows, especially for Netflix, because people watch Netflix when they want to watch it.
Right.
It's not like
Exactly.
you say, "Oh, the show's on tonight." The show's on when you want it to be on.
Exactly.
They're kind of, it's interesting actually, Netflix, when you go, you can't say good evening or good night at the end of the show because they kind of go, no.
You can watch it whenever they want.
Yeah, watch it at 6 a.m. in the morning if you want, do your thing.
Right.
But that sort of, that bit about going, it's kind of current issues rather than, rather than it being this week's topical, oh, if you miss it this week. And they're kind of, there's a lot of shows doing a sideways look at the news that are just going, oh, the world is fucked. I mean, we're in all kinds of trouble. Rather than just going, well, what would you do about it? So the first 5-6 minutes of this show every week is us going, okay, I guess the aging population is a problem. But then we come up with a great solution, which is shut down Florida.
What would shutting down Florida do?
Well, basically the issue is we've got an aging population. They retire
Yeah.
at about 60 and they go to Florida and they have a great time and they stop contributing to society and they become a burden
Yes.
to society.
Yes.
So what we do, we have to encourage people to work for longer.
Right.
Well, that's easy to do if you're living in Detroit.
You got no place to go.
Right.
Because if you live in Detroit and you go, oh, I gave up my job, what do you do now? I sit at home and I'm cold.
Right.
People, well, don't give up your job. Keep working. Okay, I'll keep working.
Because otherwise 7 days a week, I'm just hanging out in Detroit.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
It's that thing if you go, well, you hate your wife, you have to get out of the house.
Right.
But if you're in
But if
Florida,
you give them Florida and they go, well, you can go golfing all day and you can go swimming, you can have an amazing retirement. We're kind of killing the idea of retirement. So we shut down Florida. We don't shut it down for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We just say no one over the age of 50 is allowed into Florida anymore.
Oh, my God, that's brilliant.
It's just douchebags. And we also control, America's got a huge douchebag problem.
It's a major problem.
We do.
And we contain it. In Florida becomes the jet ski spring break place.
Because if the douchebags find out there's no old people and there's more room, they're all going.
Oh, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
they'll
obviously there's a douchebag cleansing program I've got lined up for next year.
Sure,
and the old people
Smart.
will work if they're in their regular places and not fucking being lazy in Florida.
Quite right.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But then we've got, I'll tell you the other idea that I think might appeal to you guys, right? So we looked at the problem of social media.
Mm-hmm.
So people are incredibly unhappy on social media. People that are on Twitter, people are on
We're
Instagram.
talking about it.
and
Suicides are up.
That's right.
Suicide. More people die now from suicide than from violence.
Crazy.
I mean, it's insane.
Very violent country, you would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
But more people are taking themselves out. You know when you say you're your own worst enemy?
Yeah.
Sure.
Literally, that is the case
It's
now.
happening.
Or best friend, depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Really great, Jim. Really way to spin it positive.
Everyone's worried about Jim this Christmas. Let's just say it.
I'm begging him at this point to
here's
come over.
Here's the thing on social media, right? What if you needed a license to go on the internet? It's that easy. You just need a license. So everything you do on the internet would be available for public view. So you wouldn't be, and like Twitter trolling wouldn't exist.
Because you need a license.
If it was, oh, Sam Roberts said you should go kill yourself.
Right.
But if it's, at 123.8-3,
Sure.
So no more anonymity.
You don't like the anonymity.
No anonymity, but also like your porn searches would be vastly different if people could come in
Oh my God.
the next morning and go, what were you looking at last night? Jim's would be, interestingly, exactly the same.
Yeah, it would be.
There is literally no filter on Jim Norton.
No, you're 100%
I think
right.
sometimes that, like, going to see you live, I think sometimes, which I've done for many years, but going to see you live, it does feel like you're looking at a guy, you go, oh, I do all of that stuff, but it's all in the vault.
Right.
Somehow, most of your comedy, I feel, comes from you don't have a vault or the key's been lost somewhere.
Yeah.
Does it ever occur to you that this stuff belongs in a vault, or do you go, well, I do this
Closet, really. Vault.
but do you just have that mindset, like, I do this and it's funny, this is what I should be talking about?
Pretty much, yeah.
You don't think about like, oh yeah,
No.
I'm just gonna be honest, man.
No, I just find it's
Just naturally.
It's just what I'm lazy, so I just talk about my life. I don't want to sit down and write.
Jim Norton is too lazy to lie. That should be the name of your next special.
Yeah.
Too lazy to lie.
Too lazy to lie.
That's a great name, isn't it? And
Yeah.
that absolutely sums up an
That's
awful lot
it.
I like it as well when it's like you watch the specials, and the specials, obviously, that's a show that's been toured and it's been honed, and it's
Right.
an hour of stand-up comedy that all works in a row. But I like it when it's the Comedy Cellar, when you're working out a new bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes it's just you say something that's just disgusting, and there's no laugh on the end of it. That is my favorite Jim Norton stuff. It's just like, what did he? Why would he? Why would he tell me about?
Yeah.
Sucking that. That seems.
It's not even a joke.
I mean,
Yeah, that wasn't necessary.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
I mean,
it falls
I'm
flat.
just top of
Feels like
mind.
the whole audience is sitting there going, we're not your therapist.
Yeah, there
We're
are
not
times.
being paid to listen to this.
There are times where it doesn't go as planned.
Right,
Times.
right. You're like, the punchline will be there, and then you get there and you go, whoops.
Nope, I just ended on a sad fact. Sorry, folks.
Look, at least they're interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
hope.
I think it's good too.
I think an internet license would be a.
It's not a bad idea.
I love it. Taking away the anonymity. Now, people argue that in order to be truthful, some people need to be anonymous. There are jobs, there are professions, there's all this. I think the original idea of anonymity being protected was so that was to protect speech. So what would you say to those people?
Sharp. Shut up! We'll come up with a brilliant idea.
Right.
Well, I think the idea of going, I think there are certain places within our society where, anonymity is sacrosanct, like voting. Like people you have to vote in a little booth, and then everyone talks about how they voted anyway.
Right.
Like,
they all
what's
post their
the point
stickers
of
on
that?
Instagram, and yeah.
So there's no.
That is true.
Like everyone's pretty open about what they do. So I don't see that that's a huge issue.
Yeah, people have changed in that respect. That you don't. When somebody said, "Oh yeah, I voted today," you already know who they voted for.
Sure.
You know why they voted. You know what they're thinking.
Because they haven't
like,
stopped talking about who they're going to vote for, and they can't stop bragging about how proud they are of who they voted for. Like, who gives a fuck?
Right. Nobody cares.
No one cares.
You're not changing anything.
It's odd. It's like the lack of anonymity is kind of an interesting thing. Someone told me an interesting fact the other day, kind of tangential to talking about the show. But I was my friend went to Tokyo recently, and he bought a new iPhone when he was in Tokyo. He says it's exactly the same as the ones here. It was a little bit cheaper because it was Tokyo, and you can't turn off the camera noise. I said, what? He said, you know the camera noise? You know it makes that clicking noise when you at the camera, and you can turn that off on your phone. He said, you can't do that. Too much upskirting in Tokyo, apparently.
Yeah, they're all exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
I went, well, that's what? That's
So by law, they made it so all the cameras
can't
have to
turn it
make a
off.
noise.
Yeah.
That's
How
actually not a
weird's
bad
that?
idea.
Wow.
That's not a bad
honestly,
idea.
That sounds like something that would have come up on your show. Who would have thought of that? To be like, well, here's what we'll do. We'll just make it so you can't turn off the sound.
How do you turn the camera? Mine's off, but not for those reasons. How do you turn it?
I don't think they ever let you. I don't know what the function is on that, but mine's never been on. Mine's
Yeah, I
never
turn
made a clicking noise.
the vibrate thing.
But
I
if
just
you get one in Japan, there is always.
so even if your phone's on silent,
on
vibrate,
silent
whatever.
in the theater, you've got it all locked down on airplane mode. still makes the noise.
Wow.
I
That's
think
kind of brilliant.
I've heard
actually.
my camera before. And I'm scrolling through to see if there's a way to turn it off, or is it only when my volume is
I don't know. I think for me, because I don't futz with it by itself, when I turn the ringer on, the camera's on, but I almost never have the ringer on.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm getting this. My camera's been flickering, by the way, on this.
What do you mean flickering?
Yeah,
there it is.
When you turn
his camera's been flickering. What Jim means is I'm having a stroke. What Jim means. Oh, my camera's gone weird. It's gone all shaky in my hand.
Somebody called 911.
No, it flickers like when you hit the little button, the volume button. No, watch when you put it on photo, it like. And now it's not doing it, of course.
Now, are you going to Jimmy Carr for tech advice now?
I was just going to show him that I wasn't making it up.
I'm like an Apple genius.
Right, just because you know about iPhones in Tokyo?
Sure. Yeah. iPhones in Tokyo. But that's the idea of this, is like coming up with really crazy ideas that might just work. My favorite is the global warming one that actually would work.
What is the idea?
Well, we came up with two. The format of the show is each team comes up with an idea and then the audience vote. And then Netflix, I guess, fix the world. And they've got a lot of money. I'm sure we'll leave that to them.
But this is where you're smart. The competition part actually makes people invested in the thing.
Well, yeah, because you've got to make it like, I mean, it's not like, I said on the thing to Catherine and DL, look, you can't just like shit on the other person's idea, because there's no fun in that.
Right.
Let them have their thing. You have your idea, they have their idea. There's no like,
It's
not debate team. You're not going, oh, that would never work. Like, be a celebrator. It's fun.
Right.
But Catherine's idea on global warming was, we rebrand veganism, because this is an interesting fact. I mean, veganism's maybe a little bit smug.
Sure, of course.
Slightly. I haven't noticed, but I've heard people say it.
Sure. But fun fact, it's possible to be vegan and shut the fuck up.
Really?
Don't use it as a substitute for personality. It's just quite a healthy way to eat, but you don't have to go on about it. So that's kind of like one thing. We made an advert for that, and that's fun. DL's idea, though, game changer, set up a volcano.
Okay.
Genuinely, if you want to cool down the world by like 2-3 degrees, if you set off a volcano, because the ash goes up into the higher atmosphere and it reflects the light.
Is that scientifically true?
The great thing about this, it's already been tested. We've already done it. When Krakatoa went off about 150 years ago, the Earth cooled by 2 degrees. There was no summer in Europe the next year. They just didn't have a summer. Didn't happen.
So,
and obviously there are, the people that live near the volcano, they might get a little bit upset. But
we tell them before we're doing it.
Yeah,
we'll let them know.
Give them 6 months to move.
Sure, if you want, okay.
Move.
If you want to do that, great.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be an amazing surprise. But that's genuinely a thing that could work, and so. You know that thing with politics? It's like people are bored of politics because there's no radical ideas.
Absolutely.
It's always like the most radical thinker. Like even, Bernie is like, oh, we'd put up income tax by 3%. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Or business rates down by 10%. Right. It's not a radical fun idea.
And when they do present a problem, eventually you can talk about it all you want, but you get to a point where, but nothing's going to change. And you go, yeah, you're probably right. It's the same thing over and over again. So that's why I guess that's why you're saying talking politics is just.
It's like it's fun talking about and it's fun talking about like big radical ideas.
Yeah.
What would actually? Why couldn't that work? That's the thing that could happen. We came up with an idea for like gender inequality that I thought was pretty good as well.
Really?
Well, so there's a pay gap. There's women earn 80 cents in the dollar, right? Because men work harder and more efficient.
And better at stuff.
Yeah, better at stuff. Yeah. Sure. So the way you redress that is you set up a religion, Judaism. As in Judge Judy or Judy Garland.
I see.
But you set up a religion, Judaism, and religions get tax breaks.
Okay.
So like Scientology gets it's basically a huge tax break. So what you do, set up a religion, it's for women only, men cannot join. And they join up and they get paid through that and they get like a kickback of 20% and they make up the difference.
So you're saying that you couldn't sit there like realistically and ask the government to say, give women tax breaks because that's sexist. That's ridiculous. But if you had a religion that was only for women, the tax break would be built in. It's already in our laws. We don't need to change anything, and we're good to go.
Yes.
That makes sense.
That could work, and that could be a thing. And you go, well, and it's just leveling the playing field.
And it's a less complicated solution than having the government do it.
But that would mean that women would have to sacrifice the religions.
That's true.
That they have. And
they wouldn't be good Muslims or Jews or Catholics because it'd be Judaisms.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but maybe we would upset their imaginary friends. That's a very good point.
It's true. Their religion.
Yeah.
I mean, who would you, their marriage, who would you raise the kid? What religion would you raise the kid? The boy and the girl are growing up in different religions?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a religion. It's a religion like Scientology's a religion. It's like it's,
like a club.
Like a club.
Yeah.
Like a little group. And I guess the religious tenet of it might be, and also whatever other faith you have, good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can.
Yeah.
You
You can multi-faith.
It's
Right.
multi-faith. You can go, I really like Muhammad and also Judge Judy.
So you're thinking like a multi-theological. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
I don't know if that's good.
I think that's it.
That's definitely not a word, is it?
No, it's not.
I've not played Scrabble with him, but I imagine that's a nightmare.
Parts of the word.
Oh, there's
Multi
a word,
is good. Multi's good.
Yeah.
Theological is a word.
Sure.
Yeah, but did you say theological?
I said theological.
A multi-theology, maybe?
So
Sure.
some of the end there, we drifted away.
We
from,
did.
Sure.
from words, but we got there.
Yeah, eventually.